This is Friday Fuel, and this is your post-Christmas reset. In this episode, we are going to cover the influence of others, the reactions that we have under pressure, and making the most of creating moments and unforgettable memories. This is about your journey, your influence and impact, and how you need to find and connect with what's really important to maximise the impact that you have day in and day out. Fatherhood is your calling, and it's unlike anything else. Some days, and I'm sure you've experienced it, will be filled with joy and fulfilment, while other days are just going to drain you emotionally and leave you feeling conflicted. But one thing is certain, you are not alone in this, and it's okay to ask for help, to laugh about the struggles, and to lean on others who get it. But we both know fatherhood is both a blessing and a challenge. It demands that you put your family first, but if you push too hard without taking care of yourself, you are going to risk burning out. 2024 is almost behind us, so what stopped you living up to your potential? What stress did you lose sight of, and what's throwing you off now? As we've just gone past Christmas, it's so important to take a moment to reset, pause, reflect on the joy that came with it. But I can guarantee you, there will have been challenges throughout that day, throughout that weekend, that will have thrown you off course, that have created unnecessary pressure. I can guarantee you that a lot of it is going to have come from the outside influence of others, other opinions, other approaches to the way that Christmas is. It could be a generational thing. It could be family disruption. It could be the travel, the chaos, whatever it may have been. There will be moments where you need to sit back, reflect, enjoy the moment, the memories, the joy on your children's faces. There are going to be times, I'm sure, during those days where there wasn't much joy. That actually there was more stress. You were running around after other people. Perhaps you had to transfer the kids from your partner's house to your house. Whatever it may be, you have to make sure that it doesn't detract away from what this is all about. This is about family. This is about you having had the impact that you want to have, the influence that you want to have on your young kids, but it's also creating moments to disconnect so that you can truly, and probably for the first time in a while, disconnect. Disconnect from the outside world, the stress, the strain that you may have been under in 2024. As 2024 comes to an end, we want to be thinking about the impact that we had, the influence that we had, the quality moments, the quality experiences that we had as a family unit. We want to understand what stopped us fulfilling our potential as dads. And we want to understand what stopped us giving our children what they need. You can hit reset. You can pursue the things that make you happy in 2025. But first, you've got to reset. You've got to focus on the motivation for change. And then you've got to get after it. It's crucial to find balance. Your children need more than just your sacrifice. They need you to be present, healthy and strong, because that's how you'll shape their future and guide them on the right path. Trust me, in 2024 we went through so much as a family. We had so many different challenges to overcome. There was stress, there was strain, there were beautiful moments that we have to tap into as a family, that we have to hold on to. It's the happiness of everyone within the four walls of this home that's most important. Yes, you will have demands on your time, on your ability to play full out and give them what they need. But your approach in 2024 versus the approach that you need to take in 2025 is finding a moment to decompress, reset, give them what they need without sacrificing everything. Because that's how you burn out. That's how you create conflict, and that is how relationships deteriorate. That's how they break down. And it's the quality of those interactions and experiences after work, at the weekend, whatever it may be, that you need to cling on to. We can play full out. We can influence from a position of strength, confidence, joy, but we need to tap into that creativity that's inside. That stuff that we suppress because we think we need to be strong all the time. We think we need to be strict. We think we need to provide. And yes, we do. But we also need to focus on creating little pockets of pure, blissful joy. Things that you can cling on to. Things that energize you for the week ahead. Things that energize them. Change it up. Change the tune. Change the speed. Whatever it might be, take a moment right now and reflect on 2024. Reflect on the things that went well. Reflect on the things that were poor. Reflect on your reactions under pressure and understand what it was that influenced you in those moments of strain. In those moments where you needed to stay composed and you lost your shit. Remember, you're human. Remember that vulnerability is a source of strength. Your ability to bounce back from setback is something that they need to have instilled in them. They need to have that confidence to grow, no matter where they've been, no matter what pressure they're under. You cannot wilt, but you must not carry the heavy load all the time without taking time for yourself, taking time out to step back and enjoy what it is that's truly going on around you as they develop, as they grow stronger, as they begin to read, as they begin to just enjoy the world around them. It's their joy that can fuel your week. But if you're not reflecting on it and you are focused solely on those challenges that are ahead, then you will burn through the resources that you have. Whatever's left in the battery is going to be exhausted quickly. So learn from 2024. Learn from the challenges that you had. Learn from the success. And take into 2025 those things that really matter. The things that are so important to you that they drive you forward and enable you to create the world that they live in. In 2025, you need to leave behind the emotional conflict of fatherhood, balancing that selflessness with personal well-being and the impact of pushing too far. You need to embrace the importance of asking for help, breaking the stigma of needing support and sharing struggles with others. And you need, and I cannot underline the importance of this enough, to recognise the power and control that sacrifice has over you. Acknowledging the sacrifices that you make and realising there's more to fatherhood is so critical. So in 2025, you've got to respect your journey, understand and appreciate the personal growth that comes with it, even through the setbacks that we've talked about. You've got to nail that self-care routine. There is a necessity behind maintaining a healthy lifestyle because it gives you mental clarity and it helps you become an effective leader, an effective dad. And if 2024 has left you drained, grab a copy of the ebook on parental burnout and complete our 30-day reset this January. The link is in the bio. You need to see and respect the impact your health, stress management and the world around you is having on those you seek to keep safe. Recognizing that those small moments are what truly shape your children, and it's not just about the big sacrifices. These have to be your goals for 2025. Look, I want you to set an example. It's your actions and presence that matter, and it's what matters most to your kids in their eyes. And this year, value presence. Why? Because it's what your children need. They need love, they need connection, they need your time, and it outweighs everything else. Look, 2024 was harder than I had planned, and it was much more draining than I'd anticipated, and that's because life threw us a number of curveballs. You see, as the kids get older and their personalities begin to develop, you have this clash at times as you try to understand who you are, understand the influences that are stopping you from fulfilling your potential. You have to balance so many different things, whether it be childcare, whether it be work, whether it be the pressures of your partner's work, whether it be the pressures of family expectations, your own expectations. But also, as the kids get older, their personalities really start to flourish, positively and, unfortunately, at times negatively. Their language begins to shape how they feel about themselves, and you have a massive influence on that. This year, many mistakes have been made. Many positives have come from those mistakes. But in September, we as a family took a real hit. Henry at school damaged his finger in a door. It cut right through the nail bed. So he had to have an operation. Now at 7 years old, it's a challenge for him to go through that process. Now, he reacted so well. He was so resilient at that time. He pushed on. He had the operation. But it wasn't until after the operation that we truly felt the effect. It was the pressure that we felt as a family. Because he felt vulnerable. He felt lost. He felt isolated. And his confidence drained out of him so fast. His behaviour changed. He became angry, frustrated, overwhelmed. And the things that he enjoyed were no longer things that he loved to do. That anger, that frustration that he had was so quick to boil over. And it left us feeling anxious, lost as a family, but also unable to cope at times. You see, that was a curveball thrown at us. We've responded positively. We've got him support. We are working through those challenges and we are beginning to find our happy Henry again. You see, that really destroyed his confidence. He wouldn't do those things that he loved. He wouldn't leave our side. He needed to know where we were at every opportunity. He wanted us to express love and he wanted to express love too. But at times, he just was a ball of frustration and anger, and he lashed out at the people that cared about him the most. Our response at times, not always calculated, but as you can imagine, under that pressure, that relentlessness of having one just starting school and one having a massive setback, you lose sight of the joy. You lose sight of the things that really matter. You start to lose sight of those connections that you have, that happiness that holds you all together. You see, it was an outside influence that caused the initial damage. It was the hospital and how he recovered that made him lose his confidence. But it was also our responses, because it was pressure for us. It was a difficult time at work. There were challenges that we both needed to overcome, and you have this melting pot of emotion, and it becomes, at times, just this time bomb, this ticking time bomb that can blow holes in everything that you love. And that's why it's so important to take a step back, to reset and reflect. Your job is always to come at everything from a position of clarity. You need to understand the impact that you have. Because if you're having a bad day, if your setback has knocked your confidence, if your stress levels are heightened, it's your connection with them that is impacted. If your voice is raised, you impact the way they think about themselves. If your judgment is clouded, they see it, they hear it, they feel it. Your job is to maintain clarity. It is to maintain visibility of the things that really matter and how you respond under pressure. So in 2025, you need to learn to disconnect from the outside world. You need to understand those pressures and focus on what is really important. The things that matter will drive you forward. And if you have lost sight of things that really matter, and you've lost sight of the things that make you smile, please reach out. Seek support. It is okay. We are these pillars of strength. But as you carry a heavier weight, you start to slow down. You start to focus on the things that are negatively impacting you, and you become washed away with the cycle. It destroys who you become. It destroys who you are in the eyes of your children, and they see that change. Your world cannot influence who they become. It cannot shape their minds. If you are set in your ways, if you are frustrated, angry, overwhelmed right now, that is spilling out into the home. And it's that will destroy the relationship that you're trying to build. But it's also that will create tension and conflict in the home. Now, I've been there, feeling emotionally drained. I've pushed myself too far, and I've sacrificed my health for the sake of my family. I know what it's like to make difficult decisions and carry that weight of responsibility. But what I also learned is that I can't give them the best of me if I do not take care of myself first. The sacrifices, they are always going to be important, but they can't be the only thing they see. They need your love, your presence, your time, and they need it above anything else. Look, your children need you, not just as a provider, but as an engaged, healthy, and present dad. The sacrifices you make today may not be fully appreciated now, but they will shape who they become. The most important thing you can give them is not the material things or the work you do for them. It's your presence, your love, your confidence, and unwavering support. And you're only able to do that if you take care of yourself along the way. Now, if you take anything from today, it's okay to ask for help. Don't carry the burden of fatherhood alone. Support is always available. Sacrifice isn't everything. Yes, you give a lot, but remember that your children need more than just your sacrifice. Self-care is essential. To be the best dad you can be, you've got to be healthy, and you've got to be in a healthy space mentally, physically, and emotionally. And remember that it's the small moments that matter. The love, the connection, the time with your children is what matters most, not just your ability to provide. In 2025, lead by example. Your action speaks so much louder than anything else. Be the dad who shows up, who takes care of himself, and who's there for the important moments. My friend, fatherhood is a journey, and it's one you don't have to walk alone. Embrace the ups, the downs, the setbacks, and the successes. And know that your presence, your love and support are what truly matter. If you ever feel overwhelmed, reach out. There's always another dad ready to support you. Your children need you. Give them the best version of you. Start by taking a moment today for yourself. Start 2025 by reflecting on 2024. Focus on what went well. What did you lose? What did you gain? And did the loss outweigh the win? Did it impact those you love? Did it stop them seeing the very best version of you? What did you focus on when they needed you? Where was your head at? If there's one thing in 2025 that will help you lead with confidence and connect on a deeper level, I want you to write it down. Let it guide you and help you give them what they need. This has been Friday Fuel. Make the most of what you learned from this year and lead from a position of courage in 2025. Thank you as always for listening and for watching, and do not forget to like, subscribe, grab a copy of all of our ebooks. They're all free. Jump on the courses, see what works for you, listen to the stories, and become a member. It's free, and I want to see you there. I want to support you on your journey, and I want to hear your story. I want to understand how you've overcome challenges and what you're focused on in 2025. Like and leave a comment below. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again soon.